Welcome. Today, we're digging into a business plan that's all about defending athletes in a brand new arena, a digital one, where their identity, their reputation, and yeah, their money are on the line every single day. So let's just jump right in with this quote from the company's founder, because it really nails the problem. Think about it. Athletes have basically become their own media empires, but they've been left to manage that empire with absolutely no armor. It's a huge, huge gap. All right, so that brings us to our first section. We're going to explore the unique, kind of specific dangers that athletes are facing today. It really is a modern battlefield, one that most people, including the athletes themselves, don't totally get. So you might be asking, what makes athletes such a specific target? Well, you've got this perfect storm, right? They have massive public visibility and a ton of earning power, but that's often paired with a really low level of cybersecurity know-how. And the fallout from a digital attack, stuff like losing your main social media account or a big brand deal, it's immediate and it can be devastating. Okay, so if the problem is that specific, how do you solve it? Well, let's pivot to the solution. We're talking about a new kind of digital armor, one designed from the ground up for this very unique environment. At its heart, the Xcellerator's mission is just crystal clear. And the key word here is systems. This isn't about selling some one-off tool or an app. It's about building a comprehensive defense to protect everything, and I mean everything, an athlete builds online. And what's really fascinating here is the contrast. The tools that exist today, they're generic. They're built for big corporations, not for an athlete trying to manage name, image, and likeness, or NIL deals, while they're on the road. The Xcellerator, on the other hand, is all about athlete-specific intelligence. It combines education with actual hands-on execution. And it's built on trust. That right there, that's the game changer. So how does this all actually work in the real world? Let's pop the hood and get into the specifics. Let's look at the company's core systems, its actual arsenal of defense. The foundation is this proprietary framework they call Protect TEM. And I gotta say, I love this because it takes all these complex security ideas and turns them into a simple, memorable, and actionable process. It's all about building good habits instead of just reacting to fear. And it covers the whole shebang, from prep all the way to staying secure when you travel. Now, building on top of that foundation, you have a whole curriculum. This thing is designed to turn athletes from, well, potential victims into digitally savvy pros. Let's just walk through the different tiers of how they build that mastery. It all kicks off with Tier 1, and the focus here is on the individual, the athlete themselves. The core idea is so simple, but it's really powerful. You are the firewall. It's all about personal digital hygiene and just building that baseline of awareness. All right, now we move up to Tier 2. Here, the focus shifts to protecting the business of being an athlete. This is about defending the brand, locking down social media, and securing those all-important NIL deals and finances, or as they put it, protect the bag. Tier 3, this is where we expand that circle of protection outward. See, an athlete's environment, their team's systems, their travel routines, even their training facilities, all of that is part of their attack surface. This tier is all about locking down that entire ecosystem. And finally, we get to Tier 4, the elite level. We're talking advanced concepts now, managing data from wearables, securing smart home devices, and maybe most importantly, having an incident response plan. The goal isn't just to stop attacks, it's to have a plan to bounce back instantly if one ever gets through. For those at the absolute highest level of risk, the superstars who simply cannot afford any digital disruption whatsoever, there's the flagship service. The Digital Dominance Program is this premium, white-glove, totally discreet service that ensures total protection. So the product and the service are solid, but how does this become a bigger business? A great idea needs a great plan to grow, right? Let's look at how the company actually plans to scale its impact and win this market. So a quick look at the business landscape shows some really interesting stuff. The strengths are clearly in that athlete-specific focus and the intellectual property, like that Protect system. And the opportunities, they're massive, especially with the explosion of NIL deals and the potential for entire leagues and universities to adopt this. So, as you can see, the company's strategic goals are perfectly lined up with that reality. The plan is to become the trusted authority, standardize all their protection systems, and then scale by licensing their frameworks to institutions. It's about moving from one-on-one services to becoming the industry standard. It's a one-to-many play. So what's the big move to make all this a reality? Let's talk about the fuel needed to really get this engine going and power that growth. So, what's the ask? The company is seeking $1.5 million in strategic capital. And this isn't just to keep the lights on. It's a very specific investment designed to accelerate growth and lock in their position in the market. And here's exactly how that capital gets put to work. It's about turning those frameworks into assets you can license. It's about building out the curriculum so it's ready for large organizations. And it's about forging those critical partnerships with teams and leagues. Basically, this is the investment that transforms the business into a truly scalable defense platform. And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question. Athletes today are more empowered than they have ever been, operating as their own brands, their own businesses. But with great power comes great risk. So the question isn't if that power needs protection, it's who's going to be trusted to build the infrastructure to do it. And this business plan, well, it makes a very compelling case for who that should be.